HP ProBook, and I'm going to show you today how to take the computer fully apart and then replace back together. For video purposes, I have taken all the screws out already, and so I can make this as quick and simple as possible. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to flip the computer over and push these two switches in and take the battery out. Next, you're going to be taking apart, or you're going to be taking a screw here, 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 and here out of the back of the computer. Once you have that done, you're going to flip it up on its side, and there will be little tabs right here and on the other side of the computer. You're going to take two screws out of those slots. When you're done, you're going to open the computer back up. Then you're going to put your thumbs on the sides and push this forward. This will be a little harder for your first time. And put that to the side. Second is you're going to take a screw out from here and one from the other side as well. Then you're just going to push the keyboard forward, and same with this. This could still be hard for first time or could be easy. If it's really hard and you can't get it, just take a flathead and stick it in the side and push it open. Then slowly lift it up, right here, and there will be a little ribbon cable right in here. There's little edges to it. You're going to want to push them up very carefully because they are very easy to break. And once they're up, just lightly lift the cable right out of its plug. Next, there will be two screws, one here and one here. Once you remove those, take the bottom of the touchpad and everything and just push it forward and then pull up. That will release the whole bottom. Next, there will be the same thing with the keyboard, just smaller. This one I say is easier to do with a little flathead. Just lightly push both sides up until you get the whole thing that comes right out. Now, once that's removed, you're going to need to remove the hard drive. The hard drive will have a screw here, and a screw here. The back screw, you do not need the unscrew completely because it has a spring and it's attached. Once you release all those screws, you grab this little tab and you pull it back, and that releases the whole hard drive. Next, you're going to need to remove your Wi-Fi antenna plugs. This is simply done by taking a flathead and putting it under the backs of them and just pushing up slightly. Once those are unplugged, just take them both and slowly unwrap them from the case. This will be moved all the way up to the tape. Then just fold the tape back and lightly pull these out. Next is you're going to want to come over to here, and this is going to be another video plug-in. And once you have it unplugged, you're just going to kind of grab onto the cord. If you can, I would suggest you grab onto the little white piece and pull. Just kind of give it a little wiggle and it should come right out. And then go ahead and unwrap this cord as well. Once it's unwrapped, this is going to be your power cable for your monitor. You're going to just grab onto the black and lightly lift up, which will unplug it. Next is going to be your speakers. Speakers are a little difficult because of where they're situated. Going to just move the cords out of the way and try to grab onto the white piece as easy or as well as you can, and just wiggle it back and forth until it unplugs. Next is going to be your power plug motherboard. You're going to want to be unplugging this. You're going to do the same thing you did with the keyboard and the touchpad. Just lightly pull this up and then remove the power strip. Next is going to be removing your RAM. You're going to want to get this out of the way so that way you don't end up accidentally touching it at all. These are going to be these little clips right here and right over here. These will allow you to push, if you push them both out, then your RAM will pop up as at a 45-degree angle. You're going to pull this out just like that, and make sure you grab onto the sides. Do not touch the black bars or any of the metal leads. Otherwise, you will destroy your RAM. Place that to the side. Next, you're going to want to go up to the sides up here. There's going to be these little screws holding on to the screen. And these are not that screwdriver. These are little stars. Yeah, I don't have a star screwdriver, and if you don't either, you can use one of these little flatheads. I find they work pretty well. And then you're going to come out to the other side and unscrew the 3 on the other one as well. Once those are all unscrewed, you're going to lightly pull the monitor away from the computer itself, and that will release your monitor. Place that to the side. Remove any screws. Next, you're going to be wanting to remove all the screws in the area. There will be one here. There'll be small ones here with a regular screw head. This one here and all the other ones will be a star head. You're going to have 4 right here. You're going to have 2 here and 2 here. Then you're going to have 3 around your micro hard drive, which is right here, if you had one. Then you're going to have 1 here, here, and then 1 up here as well. Then you're going to have 1 here, here, there, there, and then you're going to have 1 holding on. This is going to be a regular screw head holding on to your DVD-ROM. Once you get all those out, we're going to start off with pulling your DVD-ROM out. Simply just lift the side up and just pull on the front cover of your CD drive ROM. Once that comes out, and place it to the side. And next, we're going to work on getting this black cover off so you can get to the motherboard. Start off with going to the top, right where your power button is, and just put your fingers underneath. This will be, you'll hear a little bit of clicking and clacking, and just keep pulling. It's all kind of held on by adhesive. So, yeah. Once you get all the top undone, then you're going to begin to the bottom. The bottom is all done by clips. You're going to have a clip here and down the side here, and then a little bit down here. You're going to just kind of move your fingers around the edges and keep kind of unclipping it. Make sure you keep the audio plug out from under or out from over top, because you don't want to yank on that, because the audio plugs are very easily broken. Once you got all the ones unclipped from the side like this, now you have the audio plugs. To simply get them undone from the audio is you're just going to lift all the edges up and slightly push down while pulling up at the top. And that will release this whole top cover. I'm going to place that to the side. Now you have your whole motherboard. This would be your SATA cable connection to your DVD-ROM. Then this is your Wi-Fi chip. This is going to be your cell phone chip. Then your processor is going to be right here, and this would be your north bridge, and this will be your south bridge. This is going to be your heat sink, which will be cooling down everything in here. So if you need to replace that, then you'd be taking out all these screws here. I'm not going to show that in this video because that's another demonstration. Now, to put them back together, put it all back together is a lot simpler. You're going to go back to this black casing, and you're going to go and put it down. And like again, you're going to have to try to slide the headphone jacks on as well as you can. Once you got that, just kind of place everything down, and then just clip everything at the bottom back together by pushing your thumbs down on all the corners. Once you got those all clipped, then kind of push around the top, get the adhesive sticking again, and then go around and put all your screws back in. Then we're going to go ahead and put this in. And make sure you did not put the screw in through here, so then you can slide your DVD-ROM back into the computer. And then you can put that screw back in. Next, we will be putting the monitor back on. To do this, I find that the easiest way is to screw the one of the farthest ones away, which will hold that side of the monitor on. Then you're going to need to make sure one of the screws is going through your grounding wire, and then place it back in its hole so you can screw it back down. And then after you got both those screwed on, just go around and screw the rest back in. Next, you're going to go ahead and just place all these other little things into their slots. Put the hard drive back in. The hard drive is pretty simple. You just kind of place it in its slot and push it forward, which locks into place. Then you put your screw in there, and then rescrew this one in here, which I will do. Next, we're going to be putting our Wi-Fi wires back on through here, which are a little trickier than the other wires. And when you put it through, you gotta go white, black, and then white, black, and then black, white, and black, white, and then turn it through here, and this is where it gets a little more complicated. You're going to do white, black, then black, white, white, black, and black, white, and then get your white in there, get your black in there. Now the black, make sure you put the black on the far side, if I can get that wire there. Put it on the far side of your little thing and just Once you place it down, just kind of push it down onto it and it'll clip into place. Then your white one will be going to the closest. And just kind of push that back down as well. And now you got your Wi-Fi hooked back up. Next, we're going to go ahead and put our video cable back through. This one, leave a little bit of slack. Other words, you will get a ton of slack through here. So then just kind of clip this wire through each slot. Clip it in there. And then you're going to just turn it and plug it in at the bottom. Like you did, but opposite from pulling it out. Next, you're going to take your power cable and plug it in right here. And then before you put this ribbon through, you're going to want to have your audio cable all clipped back into place and running underneath your ribbon cable there. And go ahead and plug that in. I find it easiest to take a thumb drive or a flathead and just kind of push down on the sides. Be careful not to push on the wires, or in other words, you might cut them. And just kind of shove the cable back in its little hole. And then you're going to take the ribbon for the power and you just kind of stick it into its little hole here. And you just clamp back down. Next, we're going to take our RAM right here, and you're going to want to make sure the little hole right here is going to be facing towards the monitor, and you're just going to place it into its slot at a 45-degree angle, and then take your nails and just push down on the sides until you hit 2 clips. And now your RAM's installed. Make sure you only grab by the sides and do not touch the black chips or the gold leads. Then next, we will be putting we're going to be putting down your touchpad again. I'm going to just place it down, screw holes facing this way. This is the easiest, and you're going to take your little ribbon and stick it back in the slot that it came out of. And then just push down the clip and clip it into place. Now you're going to take this, just flip it over and place it down. You're going to have a little bit of a space at the bottom. That's good because you're just going to push it back into place, and anything that doesn't go back into place, you're just going to kind of take it and push it into the place where it's supposed to be. And that should put it all into place there. Then you'll put the screws back into these 2 slots. Then you move on to your keyboard. Keyboard gets a little more difficult because of how small its ribbon is. You're just going to make sure this is all out, and then just slightly put the ribbon cable inside the slot. And once it's inside, just kind of push down on both sides, back and forth until the thing fully clips down. And then you're just going to take the whole keyboard, place it down, make sure the audio cables are out of the way, and just kind of push it back into place until it all clips in. Just like that. And then you're going to put your 2 screws in here and here again. Then take this piece back, your power button, put it down, and just push it into place by pushing it straight down. Now, you're going to close this, go right back to the top. I suggest putting these in first. You're going to screw one there and one on the other side. And then you're going to turn it back over and put all these screws back in. Right there, there, here, and all these other little holes. And once you have all those screws back in, then you just clip the battery back on and you'll be ready to go.